Today we have Norman Same from KNP Solutions. He's a director of a 45-seat accounting firm that uses Enspire's Go Desktop solution in the cloud. Hello Norman, thank you for
Fran.
coming to visit today. We wanted to start with when you first thought about coming to Enspire and looking at cloud computing. Can you tell us about how you looked for a new provider?
It was based on experience, people I'd spoken to in the industry, and a long association with the then business development manager who was trying to get us to move over into a hosted environment. And
so did you come straight in to hosting?
No,
into the cloud?
First up, what we did first was a maintenance contract where Enspire, it was remotely monitoring our system. Yep. So we had our servers at our place and Enspire were remotely maintaining the service that we had at that stage. And that was just so we could get a feel of how good the service was.
So you've mentioned service as being important. Mm-hmm. What do you think the top 3 must-haves are when you're considering hosting in the cloud?
Well, service is one. One of the things that we've always spoken about is it's not just price, it has to be the quality of the service, and the accessibility would be the second. We need to be able to get to people when the system's not working, especially when we've got people working out of the country and they need to be able to access the system. And quality at the end of the day.
So just thinking about the process of implementation and the go live for your business, can you tell us what that was like for you, Norman?
Well, actually at the start, Fran, it didn't go as smoothly as we'd planned, and what we decided when we sat down with Enspire afterwards was that the management of expectations was as important as the actual throw the switch and go live.
Yep.
We were told that our service level was going to be that much higher than what we were experiencing. We were all very excited about that, but when the switch was thrown, 40 people went back to their desks and nothing happened basically. But the impressive thing was that from then on, Enspire worked extremely hard to get us back online and up and running, and very shortly after it was very smooth sailing, and it was certainly a higher level of service than what we were experiencing before we threw the switch to go live. But some fun and games in those very early days.
Yes. So, and I suppose you got to see when things aren't going right, how Enspire responds to that.
They responded very quickly, very well.
I believe that you've been in the cloud, as it were, with Enspire for about 4 years now. Can you just talk through some of the benefits that you see in your business with that?
Well, Fran, we've got people in the office working on client information as well as out at clients, and we have staff who travel interstate and overseas. So we've got the ability to plug into the entire suite of our services. When people talk about remotely accessing their emails, that's only one part of it, but then this is the full suite of services. So I've been overseas, the other side of the world, and been amazed that I can just log straight into what's effectively my own desktop and work on my client information.
I wonder whether you'd consider in your next iteration moving away from a cloud-based hosted solution.
I don't think so, Fran, because it's working so well for us now. Probably one of the best stories I can tell about the advantage of the cloud is I was in India for work. I had 24 hours off. My host took us onto a houseboat, and I was sitting on a houseboat 6 o'clock in the morning, plugged into the hosted environment, and I was reviewing the invoices that were due to go out that month to my clients. So here was I swanning on the backwaters of the Kerala state doing my billing, so it was worked well for us.
Still get your invoices out on time.
Indeed.
Really interested to know about your experience of the cloud and hosting of your systems and what that's like today.
Well, for us the advantage is that we're not IT providers, and before we went over to this system, I was spending and qualified accountants were spending far too much time trying to maintain the system. So what our view was, we outsource the stuff that we're not trained to do, so we can concentrate on the stuff that we really do well. So to go anywhere else but a hosted environment would be it's just not an option at the present time.
And what about your staff? How do they feel about working from the cloud?
It's always interesting when we get new people into the firm sit down and start working on it, that's the judge, because our staff get used to a good level of service, a high level of service. We have outsiders coming in for the first time. They say, wow, your computer system doesn't go down. It's always up and running. The previous place I was at, once a month, once a week, we were having computer issues, and we just don't have that anymore.
When you're talking to other people and explaining to them about the cloud, how do you do that, and would you recommend that to them?
Well, as a service provider, we're always in that situation where clients are asking us, well, how do you do things? And we let them know that that's a system that we use, using the cloud, and that it would probably be worth their while, small businesses that can't afford to have their own IT technical people there all the time. This way you've got a 24/7 service being provided, and it's the highest level. They don't have the skills either.